Kia ora, good evening. At 12:50 this afternoon, Invercargill police were forced to end their pursuit of a vehicle in the Gladstone area. The silver Toyota Altezza being pursued reached speeds in excess of those considered safe to continue. Police are currently investigating the matter and are urging members of the public with information of the incident to contact their local police station. 4 nominations have been received for 2 positions on the Alliance Group Board of Directors.
The 2 directors retiring through the rotation process are John Lindsay and Dawn Sangster. Both, however, are standing for re-election. The 4 candidates are Amanda Bell of Wanaka, Russell Drummond of Avondale, John Lindsay of Dipton and Dawn Sangster of Ranfurly. The election will be conducted by internet and postal voting. Voter packs, together with information about candidates, will be sent to shareholders next Tuesday, the 28th of October. Voting will close at 10:30am on Wednesday the 10th of December and the results will be announced at the company's annual meeting on Friday the 12th of that same month. Alliance Group is a cooperative owned by approximately 5,000 farmer shareholders and is the world's largest producer and exporter of sheep meat.
The Indian Cultural Festival of Diwali was celebrated at the Southland Institute of Technology last night. The Festival of Lights is a 5-day Hindu celebration and is one of India's most important annual festivals. Traditional song and dance were performed and candles were lit to signify the triumph of light over darkness. Indian students attending SIT arranged the event and guest speakers included Invercargill Mayor Tim Shadbolt and SIT Chief Executive Penny Simmons. After performances and speeches, the festival attendees enjoyed traditional Indian cuisine. The 23rd Annual Youth Mark Awards took place at the Ascot Park Hotel in Invercargill last night. Pupils at 11 Southland schools previously nominated their top student choices for sport, culture and academically before the school completed their selection process, choosing the best of the best. Last night, the region's top 50 Year 13 students were given honorary awards at the ceremony, which was hosted by the ILT. Family, friends and principals gathered to watch as students were presented with certificates and recognition at the prestigious Youth Mark Awards. Photographic boards with student citations were also on display. This year's Santa Parade for Invercargill City is in the planning and organiser Alice Pottinger says a cleaning weekend for floats is scheduled in a few weeks' time. Although the event has major sponsors including the Community Trust of Southland and ILT Foundation, she says there's still more community and business sponsorship needed to make it a success.
We've had a fantastic response relating to volunteers and that they can help us before the event and on the day, and elves and clowns. It's really good. But when it comes to sponsors, we're probably, because of the late stage of us putting this together, we're struggling to get some support and sponsors on board to help with the payment of the Santa Parade.
Do you want more floats involved or you're looking for monetary contributions?
Monetary contributions, which puts a float out on the road. So we do up the floats. We've got a team of people that will help decorate them all up again and get them roadworthy, but it's getting sponsors to pay for a float to be on the road. We allow any sponsors to put banners along the skirt of the float so that we can, the spectators can see who's involved.
How many floats are we likely to see at this stage this year?
Well, we're hoping that we'll get about 12 to 14 out this year. A couple of weekends away, we will look at a cleaning day or weekend. So anybody interested in helping with cleaning up the floats, that will be a start. And then we'll look at what repairs and paint job needs to be done on them. And then we will decorate them up, tart them up for Christmas.
What do you think the aversion is for getting sponsors on board with this?
Sometimes it's just that it's late in the piece rather than, say, back in March or April when they're organising budgets. But I think it's a sign of the times. And also the sponsors that have been on board for 15 years, it's time for a change and it's time to look for new people to be involved, new businesses that might have younger families and that they want to be involved in that way. I think there's enough people and businesses out there that would be happy to support it. It's just finding them.
Over a third of SME business operators are unhappy with both internet access and plan costs, according to the latest MYOB Digital Nation report. A nationwide survey of over 1,000 business operators shows 28% of SMEs reported dissatisfaction with the cost of plans, while 33% were dissatisfied with the speed and reliability of access. Otago Southland operators were more unhappy with the cost of their plans at 51% compared to a quarter of Waikato-based operators. The number of ultra-fast broadband connections are increasing, with operators seeing benefits like improved connectivity, better video conferencing and enabling more people to work remotely, although almost a quarter of those surveyed using ultra-fast plans could see no benefit in being connected via UFB. And staying on with internet news, more than a third of New Zealanders spend more money shopping online than they do in store. 43% of Kiwis are shopping online solely from Kiwi retailers, while 10% say they shop only from overseas vendors. The main motivators for shopping online include saving money through better prices, availability of hard-to-find products and time saving. A small group of 3% even named boredom as their motivator. The most popular items purchased online include clothing, electronics, media like games and movies, homewares, health and cosmetic products. The findings come from a nationwide survey by Canstar Blue. Stay with us. Still to come on the bulletin, a review of the first year in the top job with Southland District Mayor Gary Tong. Welcome back. It's been a year since former police officer Gary Tong won the mayoral race to replace the retiring long-serving Mayor Frana Cardno. Mr Tong says it's been a great year for him and the council, but there are still some challenges, such as maintaining the region's large roading infrastructure. Hunter Andrews asked him first of the impact of the job personally.
The biggest surprise is the pressure on family life, really. That you're after being in the police in a sole charge station for so long, you get to accept it, but certainly the pressures of a mayor is full on. You're expected to be everywhere at any time, so I have to keep an eye on that.
Let's start looking at I guess, some of the victories or achievements. First, the psychoactive substance issue. You would be notching that up as an achievement with the government backing down? Absolutely.
That was a pressure of not only your governance people, your mayors, but also the people. A lot of community pressure there, and for the right reasons.
Let's talk about communities. I've encountered you at various openings and things around the regions, the Winton Trail and things. Are you happy with the development you see happening within individual communities around Southland? I mean, we're hearing things like ageing populations and dying towns and things like that. Are you happy with what you see, communities, actually activities within communities?
Absolutely, and I'm certainly encouraging them to look forward to the future, to develop projects within their communities, because we don't want to be seen to be coming up with the ideas. These are community ideas that for them. So some communities do need a bit of a push to get out there and get some ideas to build up their economies, but we listen to them and we will help where we can and advise.
New MPs, two new MPs down here, Sarah Dowie and Todd Barclay. Have you had a chance to catch up with them, and when or if you do, what will you be talking to them about?
Caught up with them pre-election and post-election on the phone for a short few minutes, and meeting with them in the next couple of weeks face to face. Obviously be looking at the pressure of central government with our funding, with the funding rate for our roads. We need to keep an eye on that. And also tourism is a big one in my book. Government are pushing through the tourism industry to have a big increase in tourism by 2025. I'm very concerned about what that pressure will put on our infrastructure that's paid for by ratepayers. I firmly believe that we need some assistance in the future for our roading and our infrastructure in our small towns because of the tourism pressure.
We've quite successfully seen the implementation of a levy on Stewart Island. Are you suggesting possibly something like that around Fiordland or Tiana or those other tourist hotspots? Is that a possibility, additional levies?
It would be on the nice to-do list, but it would take a long time. It's took something like close to 30 years to get the levy in Stewart Island. It's certainly working. Over $80,000 has gone back into the infrastructure on the island. Quite easy to police here, but no, for the rest of New Zealand possibly a wee bit hard to do.
So, I mean, Paula Bennett, the new Minister of Local Government, of course, you will be asking her for answers to those questions about the future of infrastructure. What do you think you're going to hear from her?
Good question, Hunter. I don't know. We'll be hearing an address from Paula on Friday. I have put the questions direct to the tourism industry. I believe that's where it should start from. However, if we get no result there, then maybe have to go and have a nice talk to Paula over a cup of coffee and just say, well, hey, this is where we're at. We need to keep in the face of central government.
And that, of course, includes roading, doesn't it? 53%
Absolutely.
of the council's budget's roading, and we are running a lot of milk tankers around, which contribute a lot to the country's wealth.
Absolutely. Milk tankers, stock trucks, everything to do with primary industries, coal, the whole deal. It's certainly a big increase, and out on the country roads yesterday, quite noticeable how many heavy trucks are out there.
A good result with Audit New Zealand saying that the council's being financially responsible. That's a big tick, isn't it?
Yes, this council has always been respected for being in the black, and we do have reserves. Reserves are there for the right reason. We don't want to be suddenly taking out loans if we have to. So, I think they've been very, very frugal with their money, ratepayers' money.
The year ahead, what do you foresee coming? What can you foresee as being key issues for the council in the coming year?
Big one's the roading, and then our cycle trail, getting that on track. We've got the opening on the 1st of November of stage 1, and then the big opening in the end of 2015. And business as usual, talking to the ratepayers, it's non-stop really. And it's pretty hard trying to get back to all the ratepayers. They get a message, one chap the other day, I was 10 days before I answered the message, but he appreciated that it's a busy little job.
Yes, is there a lot of demand on your time? You mentioned the family earlier in the interview and things like that aren't ideal. But those ratepayer concerns, do they take a lot of your time? Are you dealing one-to-one with a lot of them?
Yes, one-to-one. I like them coming to the mayor as their last resort. They've been to other avenues. And if I can't give them an answer, then they go to the MP. So we've got to try and stop them having to go to the MP to get an answer. So I do my best to do that.
And that's a wrap from the News Desk this Wednesday. Next on Sport, hockey on ice. That's after the weather next. Good evening.